afternoon, my dear listeners. The topic of our day today is pharmaceutical supply of the population. The main task of today's lecture is to form the opinion and understanding about the system of pharmaceutical supply and pharmaceutical aid in the system of healthcare. That is why we'll stop shortly on these questions. The main references that you may study more detail you can see in list. Health is a fundamental human right. Access to healthcare, which includes access to essential drugs, is a prerequisite for realizing that right. Medicinal providing of citizens has to be based on the principles: availability, effectiveness, safety and quality of drug, compliance of drug medical devices with the requirements of technical regulation and standards, free drug provision in accordance with applicable law. Despite the obvious medical and economic importance of drug, there are still widespread problems with the lack of access, poor quality, irrational use and waste. In many settings, essential drugs are not used to their full potential. An increasing number of pharmaceutical products are available in the world market, and this has been rapid growth in both drug consumption and expenditure. However, many people throughout the world cannot obtain the drugs they need, either because they are not available or too expensive, or because there are no adequate facilities or trained professionals to prescribe them. Even people who have access to drugs may not receive the right medicine in the right dosage when they need it. These problems have persisted despite all the work done to improve access to essential drugs, to ensure drug quality and to promote rational drug use. On the basis of the experience of many countries, World Health Organization recommends that all countries have to formulate and implement a comprehensive national drug policy. National drug policy refers to the way in which country regulates the availability, quality and use of drugs. Ideally, the drug policy should be a part of a broader national health policy aimed to improve the health of the people. First edition of National Drug Policy was adopted and published in 1990 to address the inadequacies in the drug availability, supply and distribution. The National Drug Policy is a documentation of government's commitment on drug issues of the country. In many countries, a large proportion of healthcare spending is on drugs. Healthcare financing is therefore closely related to drug financing. It is very difficult to implement a health policy without a drug policy. The main objectives of the national drug policy are to ensure efficient and effective drug management in the public-private sector, to ensure access to safe, effective, affordable and good quality drugs at all the levels of the healthcare system on the basis of health needs, to promote the rational use of drug by prescribers, dispensers and consumers. The general objectives of a national drug policy are to ensure access, quality and rational use. Access means equitable availability and affordability of essential drugs. Quality means the quality, safety and efficacy of all medicines. And rational use, the promotion, therapeutically sound and cost-effective use of drug by health professionals and consumers. Otherwise, global target of national drug policies are availability, that means access equal right of population to the basic medicine at the grounded price of self, quality, that guarantees for the population of quality, safety and efficiency of all medicines, and rational application, means providing of necessary term in order that doctors appointed and patients have applied medical preparation coming from the basic requirements of accordance of clinical indexes and profitability. The World Health Organization estimates that there is a global healthcare workforce shortage of 7 million, which is predicted to grow to 13 million by 2035. Globally, people are living longer with multiple comorbidities and require increased access and use of medicines. Pharmacies are a key component of the healthcare workforce, and in many countries, pharmacies are the most accessible healthcare professions. The majority of countries or territories has a greater number of pharmacies in contrast to pharmacies. However, when comparing by World Health Organization regions, differences emerge with the Africa region, which has more pharmacies than pharmacists per capita. Additionally, some countries report more pharmacies than pharmacists. That means Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Burundi, India, Nepal, Pakistan, Somalia, Vietnam, etc. It is also interesting to know that according to the World Bank classification of countries, the relationship of the pharmacies per capita density with economic indicators. There are demographic similarities with the low middle and upper middle categories, but large differences between low income and high income countries. The investigators also have found the greater proportions of female in the pharmacy workforce globally, with some World Health Organization region displays female representation of more than 65%. Overall, the consistent trend is that the number of female pharmacists entering the profession is increasing. However, at a country and World Health Organization region level, this distribution is varied. Pharmacist is the first person of healthcare system by playing various roles like academic pharmacist, industrial pharmacist, community pharmacist, clinical pharmacist, hospital pharmacist, veterinary pharmacist, etc. The mission of the pharmacist declares right drug to the patient at right time in right dose through right route in right way. While providing the population with medicine includes different role of the pharmacist. They participated in the process from research and development up to sale stage of drug sale. Schematically, it is shown in the figure. Pharmacists contribute to research of new drugs and clinical trials. Hospital and community pharmacies are a vital part of healthcare system. As community pharmacists has to the public, assessing their condition and making decisions about their medicines that should take. The major source of pharmacists who add professionals into the healthcare system are universities with academic pharmacists. In the universities, pharmacists focus on teaching, research and training of the upcoming pharmacists. Thus, all pharmacists working in the different fields of the profession are directly or indirectly related to nation's health. Pharmacists reflect on every sector of society in the form of health professional having knowledge regarding health. Lawyer having fair knowledge of law and legislation about the drug. Entrepreneur with some knowledge of management, accounting and marketing. Engineer having some technical knowledge. And that's all that I want to tell you today about medicine providing and the professionals who participated in this. Next time, we will continue with the role of education in the preparing such specialists. Thank you for your attention. Glad to see you next video.